And we say good morning to you. Welcome. We are back and ready to roll for a brand new year live. We finished at Champion Chevrolet. Why would we not start the new year at Champion Chevrolet? And here we is, the number one Chevy dealer in the state of Tennessee. And so we're here live again at Champion Chevrolet. Kick off this brand new year on this second day of January 2018. I got to get used to saying that. Our show number 658. We got countdowns going on. We won't start the Christmas countdown just yet, but we will and are starting the countdown for the Daytona 500, 47 days away from the Daytona 500, and the countdown to the Food City 500. Jimmy Johnson biking down to defend his crown for the Cup Series 103 days from today. So we say good morning to you. We've had a great week off, and again, I've never done that. So thought I'd give it a whirl and see how it goes to go take a week off between Christmas and New Year's, and it's pretty cool. I liked it, so I had a chance to relax and get rested up, and away we go. We got lots to do in 2018. So we're here live at Champion Chevrolet today. Tomorrow, Chick-fil-A. Back here at Champion on Thursday. On our first Food City of the new year will be at Food City in the Volunteer Parkway on the Food City Friday coming up this coming Friday. We got basketball this weekend. On Friday night, we got Elizabethton basketball. The Cyclones taking on the Sullivan South Rebels at John Treadway Gymnasium in Elizabethton. And also coming up on Saturday, we've got Elizabethton and Dobbins Minute from the Elizabethton Gymnasium, John Treadway Gyms. We got a couple of doubleheader girls and guys basketball coming up again on Friday and Saturday, and so we're right beside the door. So when the door opens, the papers fly. We're here again, live again at Champion Chevrolet, the number one Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevrolets than these folks right here, wrapping up a very successful 2017 and springboarding into 2018. And again, today is your last day. I was talking to Andy and Tim a few minutes ago. Last day for you to enjoy the employee pricing / discount on all 2017 vehicles. Since they were closed yesterday, today is the last day for you to do that. Employee pricing on all 2017 Chevy vehicles, whether it's a Camaro, a Corvette, you pick it. They've got them, the Silverados, you name it, whatever's got a Chevy nameplate on it. You get the employee discount, and today is the absolute last day they're going to do this, and so they start with a brand new promotion, they being Chevy and General Motors. Coming up tomorrow, we'll be live at Chick-fil-A. It'll be the third day of January. We always start our show, we dedicate our show unashamedly to the man who hung on the cross, and so we have our fingers in his belt loop. Here's the verse to get us started for this first show of the new year. Isaiah 12:2 says, I am your salvation, trust in me and do not be afraid. I am your strength and your song. There you go. Got my new bell. Check this out. I like it. It's cross bell. So anyway, I am your salvation. Trust in me and do not be afraid. I am your strength and your song. Of course, when you flip the page and go into a new year, it's a lot of hope and there's a lot of uncertainty what's going to be happening in 2018. So may I say to you, you better have your fingers in his belt loop, because there's nothing else out there except the Lord himself, the Lord Jesus, to pull you through tough times and be there, closer than a brother, it says. So, and it says in Hebrews, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. So 2018, the $150,000 million question is very simple. What are you going to do with Jesus? And you're going to hear that just about every day on the show between now and the end of the calendar year. College football, then there was two. It's kind of a southern thing, if you will. And so we've got ourselves a national championship set and ready to go. What a barn burner in game one. And now I'm reading where some of the pundits have said that Lincoln Riley, the coach of Oklahoma, took Baker Mayfield out of the ballgame, wouldn't let him be Baker Mayfield. You know, Georgia's defense had a lot to say about that. If you go back and look at the numbers, it was a pretty much an inept offensive second half for the Oklahoma Sooners. They didn't do much. Did a lot defensively, but offensively didn't get a whole lot accomplished. So can't really blame that, I don't think, on Baker Mayfield. But again, one of the guys I was reading last night said he didn't let his big dog run. As a result, particularly in overtime, cost him the victory. I go back and tell you, every time we have a football game, talk about it, it's going to be the same in the national championship, the kicking game. Now, you look at the field goal right before halftime of Blankenship, huge, 55-yarder Rose Bowl record. And then you look in the second half when the game was on the line, and that tipped field goal attempt by Lorenzo Carter of Georgia makes a difference in the football game. So, kicking game, we're going to break it all down for you coming up. In game one, it was, of course, as you know by now, Georgia surviving against a very good Oklahoma team to punch the ticket for, in essence, a home football game this coming Monday night at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta against the Alabama Crimson Tide, who it's old Alabama, just a suffocating, in-your-face, in-your-grill defense, and defense stepped up big and stopped a very good football team. In fact, it was Dabo Swinney said it was we got handed ourselves an old-fashioned butt whooping tonight, was his quote for the football game. So we'll break it down. We've also got college basketball. Polls are out this week. We've got high school basketball cranking back up tonight. I would assume all games are on despite the bitter cold here in the region. Let me comment on that real quick, and we'll take our first break and jump in and talk college football. But folks are talking about the weather, and it is cold. No question about that. It is dangerously cold. But if you look at the extended forecast, unlike Alaska or Canada or somewhere else we could be living, northern, the Northeast, up in the Maine, Vermont, Connecticut area where it stays like this for the betterment of the winter, we're going to have a moderation of temperatures coming up already. It's going to be a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday, so on and so forth. So by the weekend, they're talking back up into the 40s. So, yes, it's cold. Yes, we've got to use our noggin. Yes, we've got to dress appropriately and also take care of our pets, both indoor and outdoor pets, in particular outdoor pets. But for me, the way I'm looking at it, this is just a blip on the screen. Spring is not that far away, and these cold temperatures are going to moderate as early as this weekend. So we'll just ride it out, and we're going to be okay. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk college football. Our guest today, top of the hour, Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter, ready to go for 2018. As we told you, 47 days away from the Daytona 500, 103 days out from the Food City 500. Of course, that puts it 102 days out to the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300 Xfinity race coming up at Bristol Motor Speedway on that Saturday, April the 14th. So 102 days away from racing, to be exact, from Bristol, but certainly 47 days out from the Daytona 500. Later on, we'll hear from Mike, see what he's got to say about NASCAR, the first report of 2018. And then you come back and get ready to roll with our buddy Kevin Harmon. Going to stop by and talk about Tennessee football. The Big Orange, the basketball game tonight, hosting Auburn at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. The Lady Vols, top 10 in the country right now. So things looking up for Tennessee football. And, of course, we'll see how the win by Alabama impacts recruiting and coaching for Jeremy Pruitt, the new coach for the Tennessee Vols, who's still on staff at Alabama. All that coming up. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody out of 51-some dealerships sells more Chevys than the folks right here from Mountain City to Memphis at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile. Again, today, the last day, you can get the GM discount, the Chevrolet employee pricing on anything that's Chevy for 2017 on this parking lot. Is it cold? Yeah, but it's a good day to get a good hot deal at Champion Chevrolet, Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. College football segment, we'll break it down. Happy campers in Alabama, happy campers in Georgia, not happy campers in Ann Arbor. Ooh, the heat's turned up with Jim Harbaugh. We'll talk about that coming up. And also Central Florida says they've been slighted. We'll take a look at college football next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 658, live from Champion Chevrolet, the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. And suffice it to say, I'm glad to be back. Missed being in the saddle. Glad I'm back with you. We'll be right back after this.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's the best month of the year to buy a new Chevy at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City with unbelievable savings on over 200 2017s in stock. The rarely offered Chevrolet employee discount for everyone offers the best savings of the year. 17 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 17 Corvettes, 20% off MSRP. 18 Equinox LS, $22,740. 17 Track, $17,983. Remember our Saturday parts and service hours and online shopping 24/7. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Champion Chevrolet, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer control of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live at Champion Chevrolet on this Tuesday, January the 2nd, 2018. Got to get used to saying that. Here's some breaking sports news. A couple of guys from Elizabeth. We got basketball coming up on Friday night. Cyclones and the Sullivan South Rebels. So a couple of the football players were named on the Class 4A Tennessee Football Coaches Association All-State team. Announced this morning, junior Carter Everett, quarterback, is on the team, and also senior wide receiver Ryan Wetzel selected at wide receiver. And so congratulations to Elizabethans Carter Everett and also Ryan Wetzel. Everett, of course, back next year, and Wetzel is going to be gone, of course, he being a senior. But they both were named to the Tennessee Football Coaches Association All-State team announced this morning. Again, Carter Everett and also Ryan Wetzel from the Elizabethton Cyclone football team. That's good news and great news. Again, we've got basketball coming up. As we said, Friday night we've got the Elizabethton Cyclones and Sullivan South. Then on Saturday, the Elizabethton Cyclones and Dobbins Bennett, both from the John Chidway Gymnasium on the campus of Elizabethton High School. So, we're ready to roll. Here we go. Let's take first off, take a look at the second game last night. Clemson's goal all season was to leave no doubt after topping Alabama to win the national title last season. Instead, in the third episode of the trilogy last night, in the Sugar Bowl, it was the Crimson Tide who left no doubt it was a butt-whooping. Number 4 Alabama dominating Clemson 24-6. Not only signaled that Bama was back, but it might be better than ever. Their defense is very, very strong. Nick Saban says, quote, "It was a little personal for us after the way the game played out last year." Of course, Clemson won at 35-31. And so Coach Saban said, it was bulletin board material all season long to get back and get a chance to beat these guys. And so now they'll play Georgia for the national championship. Crimson Tide defense held a Tiger team that averaged 448 yards per game and 35 points a game to 188 yards and 6 points. The Tide defense held that offense to negative 7 yards in the first quarter. They kind of set the tone in the ball game coming out of the chute, and held Clemson's offense to negative 7 yards in the first quarter of that football game. Anthony Jenkins had the game of his life, 5 tackles, 3 for loss, 1 sack, lived in the backfield and hit Tigers quarterback Kelly Bryant on what ended up being the game-changing 22-yard interception by tackle Deron Payne, setting up a touchdown from Hurts too. You saw the highlights. Payne himself lined up in the backfield and caught the touchdown pass. Jennings got hurt. needed help moving around the post-game celebration from trainers, but didn't want to miss out on the festivities. And so Alabama, not only was it Alabama, it was old school Alabama, really. Alabama that suffocated opponents regardless of talent level, scheme, or style. Alabama owned the line of scrimmage. Here's where it was different. So that was the difference in the ball game. The exact opposite of the Alabama that seemed lost in the month of November when it got by Mississippi State and then lost at Auburn. But whole different football team. They had a chance to get ready and prepare. In fact, Senator Bradley Bozeman says, once we got beat by Auburn, we were the worst offensive line of the nation, yada, 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 and all this crap. This is Senator Bradley Bozeman of Alabama. We really wanted to make a statement and prove that we deserve to be here. I think we did that tonight. So, anyway, Alabama wins at 24-6. This was the quote. Dabo Swinney put it as bluntly and succinctly as anybody possibly could. He says, quote, we earned a butt whooping tonight. And so that's what happened, no question, as Alabama wins it over Clemson 24-6 to move into the championship against the Georgia Bulldogs. First Rose Bowl game to reach overtime, first overtime game of the playoff. Number of records broken last night of the shootout, including Nick Chubb and Sony Michel recording the most combined rushing yards by running back teammates in FBS history after the 240th combined yard Monday. The duo also set a new record for most combined rushing yards in a single game with 326 in the Rose Bowl. What else was a big story in that first game? Changes to Georgia's defensive schemes confused Mayfield in the second quarter, and in the third quarter he refused to throw into double coverage, in particular third quarter, refused to throw into double coverage. That really hurt the Oklahoma Sooner offense. Also, you had All-American tackle Orlando Brown and fellow All-American tackle Bobby Evans helped embarrass Georgia's defense, which allowed just 113 rushing yards and 270 yards total per game going into the ball game. The Sooners got both of that by halftime. Wow. The defense of Georgia was gashed for 531 yards in the ball game. Lincoln Riley stuck to his guns a bit too much with the game on the line as Mayfield threw just 3 passes for 13 yards in overtime. There's a lot of folks saying Lincoln Riley, bad play calling in overtime. That'd be your call. What do you think? Let me know. I watched it, and I thought that was a little conservative with what he had done going down the field, the razzle-dazzle plays, and he actually caught a touchdown earlier in the ball game, so I thought they went pretty conservative. Excuse me. And so as a result of that, Georgia forced him to kick a field goal. It got deflected and partially blocked by Carter. Georgia with that wild dog set, if you will, by Sony Michel, 27-yard run. Rest is history. Oklahoma's won 87 straight games and leading by 17 points at any point in the ball game, and so they coughed up and gagged that one too. So it was an interesting football game to say the least. Roquan Smith, the linebacker, was the man last night for the Georgia Bulldogs. Game-high 11 tackles, came up with big play after big play in every big situation that was needed, and so I'm sure he's got a big pro career waiting ahead of him. The first-team All-American, he was one of the first-team All-American selections, should say not 4, but he'll be a monster championship in the national. If he resays that, he'll be a monster in the national championship game as well. Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, I mean, it was unbelievable what those guys did. Combined for 326 yards on the ground at a whopping 13 yards a carry. I mean, these guys are getting big chunks. And so Bulldogs offense totaled 317 yards on the ground, more than 9 yards per carry. And so these guys had it their own way. Also, the kicking game, no question. It was Rodrigo Blankenship's Rose Bowl record 55-yard field goal right before halftime. Also looms large because it reduced the deficit from 17 to 14. And so after calling a nearly perfect first half, I thought Lincoln Riley, the head coach of Oklahoma, went into the tank, got ultra-conservative. I thought he played not to lose, and he did lose. So again, they blew a 17-point lead, and so Georgia wins it, and they got what they wanted and what they deserved. And so the two best teams, based on what happened yesterday, moving on to the national championship Monday night in what should be a very decidedly pro Georgia crowd inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, for the national championship coming up Monday night. It'll be Alabama and Georgia. It's a Southern thing. So I don't know if you folks, other parts of the country, get that, but it's a Southern thing. College football pretty strong down here in the South. So, and interestingly enough, the two teams playing in the national championship both beat Tennessee, obviously, earlier in the season. And so there's a local connection, obviously, to the fact that they're in the SEC, and Georgia being the SEC East. And also Jeremy Pruitt, the head football coach of Tennessee, still on the staff of the Alabama Crimson Tide and still working for Alabama during the day, working for Tennessee at night. Obviously did a pretty good job in his job capacity, his job title for the Alabama Crimson Tide last night. As Nick Saban said, we took a little personal way things ended last year, and so they win last night, decidedly going away 24-6. What else happening in college football here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show? We're live at Champion Chevrolet on this Tuesday, January the 2nd. Things aren't real rosy, if you will, in the Rose Bowl. And because Oklahoma losing the way they lost, and some of the Oklahoma fans not happy with the coaching staff at Oklahoma, in particular Lincoln Riley. But, hey, he said, if you call enough plays in the ball game, you're going to miss one or two here and there. Maybe I did, but at the time I called the best play I thought was the best play we needed to play and run at that time. It's always easy to second guess being an armchair quarterback. Things aren't real hunky-dory in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh coming under fire again, this time from ex-Ohio State receiver and NFL legend Chris Carter. Carter criticized Harbaugh's lack of creativity with the Michigan offense. Wolverines lost to South Carolina in the Outback Bowl. Brandon Peters, the quarterback, 20 for 44, 186 yards and 2 interceptions. Michigan's offense simply looked lost all game. Team managed only 19 points, kicking a couple of field goals and missing opportunities in the red zone. Harbaugh faced similar criticism after losing to Florida State in last year's Orange Bowl. In a big rivalry games against Michigan State and Ohio State, Harbaugh now 1-5. Add in bowl games, he is 2-7. That's not going to cut it for a Michigan faithful, and next year he may be out of excuses. The fourth year is a turning point for college coaches. It'll be a good benchmark for where Michigan stands under Harbaugh heading forward. But again, this guy 1-5 against Michigan State and Ohio State, and add in bowl games, he is 2-7. They ain't happy in Ann Arbor, I can tell you that, because that was pretty much laid an egg yesterday against South Carolina. But again, credit the Gamecocks. They stopped Michigan. Big Ten was going to go undefeated in postseason play in college football bowl bonanza, but they did not, obviously. As a result, South Carolina winning it 26-19 kept them from, they being the Big Ten Conference, going perfect in the bowl season. So South Carolina reeled off 23 unanswered points to put a damper on the end of the Big Ten's perfect postseason. Pac-12, 1-8 in bowl games. So anyway, Jim Harbaugh off season. He is 28-10 in 3 seasons, which is fine on its own, but he's never finished higher than third of the Big Ten East. He's now 1-5 versus Ohio State and Michigan State. So put that another way, Harbaugh's won a lot of games, just over 9 per season, but not enough for the right games. And so they'll see how things go in Ann Arbor in the offseason. It's going to be a very interesting offseason for the Michigan Wolverines. Also, Central Florida yesterday became the, 8th FBS team since 2008 to finish the year with an undefeated record, completing a perfect 13-0 season with a thrilling 34-27 win against Auburn in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. We sent a young lady to that, with Megan Scott, sent her to that game from Chick-fil-A right before Christmas. Excuse me. And so Central Florida, the Knights 12-0 heading into the game, but outside the top 10 in the college football playoff rankings, were listed as double-digit underdogs to Auburn. Central Florida coach Scott Frost, who has been the Nebraska coach for nearly a month, but the decision to lead them in the ball game and finish what they started paid off and gave the program a memory they'll never forget. He arrived in Orlando as a first-year head coach, taking over a program that just endured an 0-12 season. His impact, Scott Frost, immediate, and now the climb to the top of the mountain has been capped off with a big-time bowl win, and they did. As for Auburn, the defeat pairs with Georgia's loss in the SEC championship game as a disappointing finish to a season that for a moment featured the Tigers as legitimate national title contenders. So Kerryon Johnson, Jarrett Stidham, and several other key contributors will be making decisions regarding the NFL draft for Auburn. While Gus Malzahn will be back, it's going to be a reloading year for Auburn in 2018. And last but not least, from yesterday, Notre Dame wide receiver Miles Boykin lived up to Brian Kelly's expectations. He told him he's going to have a big game. He's going to be the MVP of the game, and he was. And he made a dynamic one-handed grab and raced down the sideline for a 55-yard touchdown with a minute 28 remaining to give 14th-ranked Notre Dame a 21-17 victory over number 16 LSU. The win by Notre Dame, now 10-3 on the season, finishing out its first in a New Year's Day Bowl since the 1994 Cotton Bowl against Texas A&M, and snaps a 9-game skid in January postseason games. So how about that? That's a big ball game, big win, and so it was Notre Dame winning over LSU 21-17. But again, the two big games yesterday obviously was Oklahoma and Georgia, or Georgia-Oklahoma, and Clemson and Alabama. Quick break. We'll be right back. We are live here. We are at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Show number 658. When we do, we'll take a look at college basketball coming up next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Shows. We're live, as we said, on the road at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, here on show number 658 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live here, show number 658 to kick off the new year. We finished it at Champion Chevrolet. Why would we not start at Champion Chevrolet? And we are. There he is. Look at him. There he is. Our ray of sunshine, Andy Dietrich. Good afternoon. Actually, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Oh, freezing.
Yeah.
It's out there. We've got some cars really frozen this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's a good time to make sure your battery on your car is good.
Yes.
And, you know, that's a problem we have sometimes. You know, you've got cars that sit out here and nobody drives them for 1, 2, or 3 months. And maybe you were able to get in them, move them last week, but this week with it 3 degrees when we wake up this morning, it'll put you need to check your radiator fluid, you need to check your battery, check your hoses, because this cold temperature can do damage to your car. And you want to be able to keep going. You don't want to bump in the road as you're trying to get to work or your kid's school performance or a sporting event. You get that stuff checked.
Yep.
That's my
tip for the day.
And the rest of it we'll pick on Tim Copenaber.
No, we're not.
Why can't we pick on him?
No, we can't, because I just don't feel good about doing that today. It's just trying to start the new year. Yeah, every time my door opens, it's a blast.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Yeah, it is an Arctic blast out there today. And I took the kids to Quantum Leap last night. I got home from work, and I could tell they need to burn off some energy because it had been too cold to go outside. So we went to Quantum Leap, and I don't know if their heaters were out or what, but I swear it's 50 degrees in there. I don't get cold easily.
Yeah.
I had my coat zipped up to my neck, and the kids' coats on top of me inside there.
Been to 2 different events down there, and both times it was very cold. And I don't know whether they're turning the heat on or the heat's not working or they got it low. But yeah, they need to crank the heat up down at the old Quantum. It's a big old warehouse factory, but
just jump's nice too. You know, if you got kids and they need to burn off some steam and they're off this week, take them to one of those jumping places, or even what's the Wallabies too. Yeah, we've had birthday parties and stuff there as well, and it's, take your kids there, let them burn off some steam so they don't drive you crazy at home. You'll sleep better at night, and you'll thank me for it. That's more. I'm all kinds of words of wisdom today. Little helpful tips and tidbits and things.
Tips by Andy. So
we worked yesterday. Did you know that?
Yes.
We were here.
Yes.
Sold 8 cars and made it worthwhile.
Did you really? Sold 8. How many of them took advantage of the employee discount?
Probably but not counting the used ones, we probably had about 6 that were employee discount deals.
Now they can still do it today. This is it.
Today's the last day, close of business, when we shut the gates at 7 o'clock tonight, or we'll stay, if you come in at 6 and it's still overrunning at 7, we'll stay till last customer served. But today is it, and I have no idea, and Tim and I were talking about that, we have no idea what's going to happen. It really, this is the last day of Chevrolet's corporate's month. It's, our month was over Saturday, but corporate wise, because the way it falls on a Sunday, then Monday's a holiday, theirs extends through close of business today. So we'll know in the morning.
We'll get our brand new, because we'll be back here on Thursday. We wanted to finish the year, and we did. Last show we did on the 22nd was here. The first show we did in 2018 is here inside the studio, inside the showroom here at Champion Chevrolet.
So what'd you get good for Christmas?
Got a Marshall Throw.
Like a blanket?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And got Lonesome Dove on Blu-ray, which is cool. Yeah, watch me some cowboy movies. That's pretty much it. I don't get a whole lot, and that's okay. It's all right. What did you get?
Well, I'd rather give than receive anyway.
Me too.
I like seeing other people's smiles.
Me too.
That means more.
So, did you get Mrs. Dietrich the appropriate
beef
jerky and all that good
stuff?
stuff?
I gave her beef jerky. I gave her an Us magazine. Gave her some candy.
Man, what kind of candy did you get her?
Reese's Pieces and M&Ms. But it's just a joke. She got on here and threw me over, under the bus. Like, Andy got me this, and Andy got me, And then she got to the bottom of it, and I got her a new iPhone. That was in the bottom of her stocking, so she was a little shocked over that.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Scored them brownies.
Yeah.
What the little people, they rack up? They have big Christmas?
Yeah. Hagen wanted a little laptop computer because, as you know this, your granddaughters, they more and more things everything today is computer driven, and so jumped on the bandwagon and did that. And Hudson wanted a GoPro, so he got a GoPro and those accessories, and we have 2 golden doodles, and he got it's a harness that fits on the dog, and he mounts the GoPro on it, so the dog takes off with the GoPro, and you can video wherever the dog's going.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we haven't done it yet because the weather hadn't been that great since Christmas, but we're going to hook that thing up to the dog and turn the dog loose.
Who Let the Dogs Out? Isn't that the name of the song, Who Let the Dogs Out?
Yes. I saw them. No. Who Let the Dogs Out they were a one-hit wonder.
No.
The Gingham, no, that's no. I don't know, but anyway, I went to the Subway Series, World Series, when it was the Mets and Yankees,
right?
And I was up there. We were at the Mets Stadium, and during the 7th inning stretch, they came out and performed "Who Let the Dogs Out?" Woof, woof, woof. So,
now, speaking of music, I went back. You gave me a homework assignment. You said Tim, and you liked this red-haired guy, Ed somebody.
Sheeran.
Yeah. So I went back and watched some of these on YouTube. I ain't getting it. I'm sorry.
But did you notice how big he is, though?
Well, yeah, but he's doing a lot of copies of people's songs. A lot of them aren't original. The songs I saw him sing were a Simon and Garfunkel song, and it just didn't wow me.
You're missing out.
Yeah. I'm not into it. I'm not hip.
No.
I'm not dialed in. So, what's his last name?
I feel for you.
Sheeran?
Sheeran, yeah.
Ed Sheeran. Are you going to see him in concert?
No, I think Tim is. Guess who I'm going to see? Taylor Swift.
Nice. Taking the little one? Taking the daughter?
Oh, all four of us are going.
Oh, where are we going to go see Taylor at?
I think it's in
Nashville?
Charlotte.
Charlotte? Yeah.
I think so. Maybe it's in Nashville. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I just know I'm seeing Taylor Swift.
Soon?
Sometime later this year.
Okay.
I want to say it's 6 or 7 months away.
Oh, so
but Haley had to get on this like fan club, join the fan club, join the waiting list, and then you get first shot at tickets. And I just walked in the door. She goes, "Give me your credit card. It's time. It's time." And I was like, I hadn't even put my bag down. I was like, what's going on? What are we? Are we in trouble?
The Dietrich's a reality show.
Give it to me. Hurry. We only got so many minutes. So I think we're, after she joined this fan club thing, I think we're sitting like 16th row or something.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah,
seats.
so Taylor can wave at me and wink and
back.
Thank me for coming.
You need to take a little sign that says Champion Chevrolet loves Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Well, see, though, Haley and Hagen have met Taylor.
Oh. Tell me that story.
They had a little girl. This little girl was not a part of Haley's cancer school here at the racetrack.
Right.
But St. Jude's called and said, "Hey, we've got this little girl. She's, I believe she's from Mexico, and her family lives here, and she's very sick. She's had 2 or 3 surgeries on her brain for a brain tumor, and we want you to help throw her a Frozen-themed birthday party." And this was basically right at 3 years ago. And can you help us with that? So Haley started getting involved and meeting this little girl and her family, and her parents can barely speak English. Barely. The little girl, she was 10, has to translate basically for her parents. So I'll speed this up. So anyway, Haley met him, found out it was right when that Shake It Off Taylor Swift song hit. Shake it off, and that was her favorite song, and she loved Taylor Swift. So Haley got this wild hair, just met this little girl. Well, wouldn't it be great if I found a concert with Taylor Swift and I took her to it? So the Speedway got involved and helped Haley get in contact with a guy that's over Universal Records, and he said, "I'll do one better. She's getting ready to play in 2 weeks at the iHeartRadio in Las Vegas at MGM Grand. We'll give you tickets to that and meet and greet."
Wow.
And so Haley and Hagen and Jane Henry, who's also one of the teachers at the Children Exceeding Expectations School, and little Donna got on an airplane and flew to Vegas and went before the concert and met her, and she came into a room, and they had already told Taylor about this little girl. Taylor had gone, WCYB did a story on her about going to Vegas. You can look it up. And Taylor had watched the story on WCYB and knew everything about little Donna, about what her likes were, about her sister, her parents, and told her all this stuff when she walked in the room.
That's pretty cool.
And took a picture with her and my daughter, and she signed autographs and was just super wonderful. And then they got to sit front row, and Donna did, and got to go backstage where they were making outfits and got to see some other celebrities, but they were there for Taylor Swift. And Haley also took them. They took the little girl helicopter ride into the Grand Canyon.
This is cool stuff.
And Haley said that after that, they said, "Well, let's go shopping. You can buy anything you want, and we'll buy it for you." And the little girl, all she wanted to buy was an M&M baby onesie for her sister back home. That was just, I think, 4 or 5 months old. Didn't want anything for herself when Haley said she could buy anything she wanted. And she passed away about 2 years ago. The little girl did.
But Haley put a smile on her face.
Haley put a smile on her face and had a wonderful time. up until that time, that story, it was such a feel-good story. It was the most liked and commented story in WCYB's history on Facebook, social media.
Awesome. That's a
And
great
they
story.
did a story beforehand, and then when she got back. But I'll never forget, we went to that funeral for her, and it was pouring down rain. Her little family lives in Morristown, and we were at the funeral, and Haley had, I think it was either Miss Jonesboro or Miss Johnson City that came and wanted to sing. I need to turn my ringer off. I apologize. That was my daughter calling. And they sang that Frozen song, "Let It Go." The Miss Johnson City, Miss Jones, I can't remember which one she was, and it was so heartfelt and meaningful. And we're at this funeral, we were at the graveside, and the lady couldn't finish. She started crying. Well, my daughter was there and two other little friends, and so they sang it with her to help her finish it at the graveside for this little girl. It was just so wow. It just something I'll never ever forget. It was just incredible.
That's a sweet story.
Mm-hmm.
Very sweet story.
But you know, Haley likes to. That's what she's good at, and that's what
putting smiles on people's faces.
Yeah, and she's getting ready to go. You know, here end of this month, she goes to Disney. Secret, don't tell anybody yet.
They don't know that.
No, the kids don't.
Yeah.
Parents know, but the kids will get surprised.
Yeah, and they're taking them. She takes them to Disney every year.
Yeah, this will be her 6th year.
Yeah.
And what's neat about it is she raises all the money herself and pays for all of them to go, and their parents and siblings, and there's 50 total people that go, and she raises money, pay for 50 people for 3 full days in Disney World, and a bus down and back. And she does all this, and Jane Henry, it helps her with the school every day, and Jane goes, and we have several other adults from here go, because what's crazy is some of these families, you go and check in at like the Wild World of Sports, you know, the All-Star Resorts down there is usually sometimes where they stay, and some of the families have never ever stayed in a hotel room before and don't know what to do when you're checking. Imagine taking somebody that's never stayed in a hotel room or traveled before to Disney World.
To Disney World. Wow.
And so they have to have, they have like enough adults there, you can have a host with every family to help them get checked in, help them around Disney World, to where to eat, where to buy things, how to ride rides. It's an ordeal, but it's
cool,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
Very good thing. Awesome thing that Mrs. Dietrich does.
Yeah.
And you help out too, don't you, in a roundabout way?
I help out by keeping the kids here while she's gone.
And going to Quantum Leap.
And going to Quantum Leap or Just Jump or Wallabies.
Yeah.
But no, I think Hagen gets to go when she turns 13. I think that's the deal Haley's made with her. So she can be up to the challenge, because it's tough. Depends on how sick the child is. It's a tough deal.
It is a tough deal. It's a special deal, because it's putting smiles on kids' faces. And speaking of that, good segue right into the gala. I know Tiffany's here a few minutes ago picking up tickets.
Yep.
And you continue to sell a lot of tickets. And
yeah,
making
she
a
was
difference
surprised
for
how
kids.
many we'd sold. Woo! That is pure 650 horsepower starting in the showroom.
Check that right there now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, the dealership did not explode. That was just Cletus starting a rocket ship.
Man, that thing just sounded good. Roll. Just kind of rolled in it. Now, what is it when it started to fire up?
Tim's lost 50 pounds. Don't tell anybody.
I'm not saying a word about Tim.
He's looking great.
He is good.
He is determined. He's working out twice a week. He's eating right. We're very proud of him.
Yes, Slim Tim.
Slim Tim. Used to be Big Tim. Slim Tim. Slim Tim.
50 pounds.
50. And he still wants to lose 20 more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think? Is that too
I think
much?
he looks great right now.
Yeah, is that too much? Another 20?
He's just determined. We'll see.
Yeah.
He probably will. He's
motivated.
I can't get him to sneak and eat anything.
He's driven. Yeah. Well, when he won the picking panel back before, I need to bring him those bananas. I forgot to bring him the bananas.
Yeah.
The picking panel. You got chocolate chip cookies and cakes and
pies,
sweets.
pumpkin pies.
Sweets.
I'm not going to waste it on bananas. A win? You got to celebrate with good stuff.
You got that right. So we'll get. I got to bring him some bananas because he won. I forgot to do that. We are talking to my man Andy Dietrich. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. Coming up top of the hour, in about 15 minutes, will be our buddy Mike Hedrick, NASCAR fans reporter. Then a little bit later on, Kevin Harmon comes in to kick us off 2018. Big recruiting year for Tennessee football. Jeremy Pruitt and I got some big names in a short period of time. Also college basketball, the Vols and Lady Vols doing well. We'll hear a complete Tennessee report coming up a little bit later in the show from our buddy Kevin Harmon. So the gala, it is coming up on the 27th.
Yep, January 27th at the venue in downtown. You do not have to be present to win. If you do want to win, it's black tie. Come to the gala. I don't know. I haven't talked to Tiffany if it's sold out or not yet, but
typically it is.
Yes, it's typically sold out by now. But if you are interested in going to the gala, you go to the same web address that you can purchase the raffle tickets, which is mshafoundation.org. If you don't want to go, you don't have to be present to win. You can buy a $50 raffle ticket. The grand prize is one of 3 cars. You can take you can jump and grab one of those 3. It's a 2018 Chevrolet Traverse, 2017 Chevrolet Silverado Double Cab, or 2018 Cadillac ATS. And then they'll have 3 more drawings, which is funny. Go to the next 3 drawings are all cash. There's a guy that came back in here with his wife today, and he bought a ticket last week too. He won the $2,500 last year, so he keeps coming back buying more tickets. So it's local people win it.
Absolutely.
It's great, but the 3 cash prizes are $2,500, $1,500, and $1,000. So they only printed 4,000 tickets, $50 a piece. 100% of that $50 goes to Nice-Wangers Children's Hospital to help in a particular area where they're concentrating their efforts in that particular year. And it's a great deal. 50% or 100% of the $50 goes straight to them.
And the more you buy, the better chance you are to win. Obviously,
yeah, I mean,
more names
they've never sold out the raffle tickets. So, guys, if they sell 3,000 tickets, you have 1 in 3,000 shot of 4 different prizes. I don't know anywhere
that's 4 in 3,000, right?
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I don't know of any better odds than anything else.
No. So, whatever the number of tickets sold, you get 4 chances. 4 in 3,000 or 4 in 2,800. How many tickets they sell will be the opportunity, and you can buy them right here.
I think I'm gonna lock that door.
It's cold.
Yeah.
And when they come in, it blows stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And
I think you should ask for a phone for Christmas. I think you didn't tell Santa the right thing.
You know what? It's funny you said that. I ordered a phone. They shipped it on the 23rd, wherever they shipped it from, apparently Bangladesh. It still hasn't gotten here yet. So I have a new phone.
Somebody in Bangladesh is using it before it comes to you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get that fixed at our new sponsor, Sprint. So I got to get because it's dropped. So you can see where I've cracked it. See there in the corner, it's cracked. It's got,
I see it.
Spider cracks.
Yeah, that's why Santa needs to bring you a new phone.
An LS4, it's kind of outdated. So I've got a new tablet coming, and I got a new phone coming.
It's one of those you have to crank it. Hey, Drew, the Bristol Motor Speedway's in the house.
Hey.
Happy New Year.
Hey, look.
Happy New Year.
Happy birthday happy birthday.
Okay, see ya.
Isn't that nice? I love that guy.
He's a good guy. This phone's so outdated. To charge the battery, you got to crank on the side of it to keep it charged. It's so old. You stick it right here, and
when I call Champion, I ring the bell and say Sarah.
So you got to crank it.
Yeah. I don't know where to go.
I'm excited you're getting a new phone.
I am too. I'm excited getting a tablet too, so I'm going to be able to communicate with my listeners even more.
Yeah.
They're going to be sitting right here, and they're going to say, "You think it's going to be Alabama or Georgia?" You're going to say who?
I don't know. I mean, okay. Here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I wish Alabama had lost last night.
Right.
The only reason, so Jeremy Pruitt can get to Knoxville and start doing his job. Not is that being
selfish?
A little selfish.
That's okay. That's all right.
But I care about my Vols and how bad they did last year, and I want them to get going.
Yeah.
And so now Jeremy's going to have to wait really to concentrate till after the national championship. Which what date?
This coming Monday.
So next
from
week.
Last night.
Okay. So I am being selfish. So I hope. Well, I mean, I hope now Jeremy wins. I wished he lost last night.
One more week now.
I wished he lost last night, but I hope he wins next Monday.
Yeah.
Because it'd be great him go out with a 6th national championship. Is that how many he's got since he's? I think somebody said he's had 5. So this would be 6.
For sure he's had 3. He's been on 3 teams and won national championship.
But that would be special. I mean, leave on that high and go to the Vols, and I mean, you just be pumped up. People would be excited. People would want to come there to play. So yes, selfish to want him to win. one side of the spectrum.
We're getting ready to drag this tree. It's becoming a pretty big ordeal here, dragging this tree out. I'm a little nervous.
You think you're cold? Oh yeah, they're getting ready to open the double doors.
Open the double doors. So
it's looking pitiful.
It
took
pitiful.
6 people and a forklift to get it down here.
Uh-huh.
And they cut 2 feet off of it. And it's almost 16 feet
Let's go ahead and show it.
tall.
See there?
Well, you can sort of see, Charlie there standing beside of it's almost, I guess he's close to 6 foot.
Yep.
So,
Charlie's getting ready to take it down. Look here, got it on camera.
Yeah.
Look here, the tree, beautiful tree, but it's time, right?
Yeah, well, it's past time. You can see where they took the lights and all the stuff fell off of it. Yes. I mean, I had 4 squirrels jump out of that thing. And we brought it in
like
here.
Clark Griswold?
Yeah, I had to get my tennis racket and chase it around.
Before we go to the break, would you describe that white car sitting over there, please, sir?
The white car is a Z06 2018 650 horsepower rocket ship. It's white with the graphite inserts and red leather interior and a red dash.
Okay.
It is popping.
All right, the gray one?
The gray one is also a Z06 and the red one's a Z06.
He is slim. Look at him.
Yeah.
See him on the screen?
Yeah, look at him. I mean, you can't even see me so slim. I mean, that's tiny.
Scale. Go ahead. The gray one is
it's Z06 as well, 650 horsepower.
Okay, and then the red one, Cleta, just moved.
Z06 as well. We've got the Z06 piled up, and I'm not in love with any of them. And they're a great winter car to take the top off on a day like today and drive around and freeze. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't either.
I mean, we may witness something like the car, that thing crashing on a car.
They have taken a kind of a belt, and they're going to kind of, I guess, drag it across the showroom floor.
I hope not. That'll scratch the tile floor. I don't know. This is interesting. This could be on America's Funniest Home Videos.
We're going to keep it right here because I think we're getting ready to see some good stuff here.
Okay. Well, no, that didn't work out.
No, they're going to redo the strap. Strap ain't working. Now, who is leading this chart? Charlie, and who's the other two?
That's Matt and Jalen.
Matt and Jalen and Charlie.
Yeah.
So they've got the strap now on either side.
I don't know.
Just go ahead and do the play-by-play, Andy.
Now we got people watching.
Yeah,
there's
we
people
do.
piled up over here watching this.
Go ahead and give us the play-by-play.
Charlie, can you tell us what you're doing down there?
Okay, we're going to drag the tree to the door now.
Okay, you know the bottom of that stand will scratch the tile floor. Okay.
We're on a rug. We'll drag. So.
Tim Copenhaver will come over that counter if that floor is scratched. I can see it now. We may get that on video too. This is great. This is
good. I'm just going to go ahead and set the camera down.
Yeah, we'll just do a little play-by-play. I'm
tilt this back. We are live at the Showroom of Champion. The removal of the 18-foot tree that came in on the forklift.
They brought it in. They had something at the top and the bottom just laying flat. This isn't gonna work.
I don't think so.
No.
Why don't they just tip it over and drag it out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me hint to him. Hey guys, why don't we tip it over and drag it out? Tip it over and drag it out like same way we brought it in. Huh.
Andy says, huh. Even Pig,
Here it comes.
Pig is
Here
not
it comes.
watching.
Here it comes.
Here we go. I think they like your suggestion.
Put your goggles on. Safety helmets.
Over here is Pig watching. Pig is...
Listen to how dry that thing is.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's on tile floor. Water won't hurt anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have just lit it up in here.
Charlie says.
Yeah.
We can solve everything with a match.
Yeah, had the sprinkler system going off in here.
Mm-hmm. Then I got wet and cold.
You're about to get freezing.
Oh, I understand that.
These accordion doors are getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Here we go. The last bastion of Christmas.
There it goes, boys and girls. The Christmas vacation Christmas tree is out the door. Look at that mess in the floor. Well, look at him. Putting it in the back of a pickup truck bed right there.
There we go. And
show them how nasty the floor is right now.
Okay, we can do that. There we go.
It looks like something died over there.
Did you hear Pig?
What?
Pig said, clearance sale, just get an artificial for next year.
Yeah. We could probably get one 50% off right now.
So there you go. There was where the tree was.
You could probably bundle those needles up and make a pretty good sized tree with what's sitting there. Probably need to bring a power blower in here.
Don't do that.
Aim it over here.
I have pine needles stuck on my hair. All
Well,
right.
Inside the showroom.
Inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet.
You'll never know what you'll see.
No.
Or who you'll see.
Who you'll see. There we go. We're back
Wow,
to it.
that was exciting.
It was exciting. That was a live play-by-play, the removal of the Christmas tree. It don't get any better than that.
No.
That's live, right?
That
here
is
on
live.
Facebook and internet around the world.
So
All
my
right.
time is coming to an end. So real quick,
Rapidly.
employee pricing, it's over today. Rapidly, we're spiraling downhill. Ends today. Close of business on all 17 Chevrolet vehicles. There's $9,000 off all 2018 Crew Cab, LT, and Premier trucks, Silverado 1500s. $7,000 off all 2008 Silverado 1500 Crew, LS, and work truck. And got probably close to 150 used cars. We've sold a bunch this week. This has been our busiest week, this last week of the year. So I've got tons of trade-ins. I just traded for an 11 3500 diesel truck with 11,000 miles on it. An 11 model diesel, 11,000 miles. Unheard of. Usually people drive diesel till the wheels fall off and then they put new wheels on it, keep driving it. This thing's no miles on it and now 7 years old. So we traded for a ton of stuff like that. So get on our website, championjc.com. They're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got chat. You can chat with my girls upstairs. You can submit credit applications, make service appointments, buy parts, buy accessories. Just a great way to sit at home on a cold day. And if you don't want to come walk on a lot, you can shop, and we can get it ready for everything ready for you. Then you come in here, sign your paperwork, and be done. Get out, in and out.
You get the employee discount. Again, the General Motors Chevrolet employee discount till close of business tonight at 7 o'clock. And you don't know when that's coming back. If it ever comes back, it'll be a while.
They did it 2 months, and I only said they would do it 1 month, so I was wrong. So I don't think they're doing it again.
Yeah.
They'll have some new spectacular promotion. I don't know. They want us to get excited. So.
Yep. So you want a GM Chevrolet employee discount. You get it the same way Andy gets it, or Tim gets it, or anybody that works here gets it. As far as the discount, today's the last day to do that. And that's not a sales pitch. It is because you were closed yesterday where you were open, but they're going to extend it one more day, and today's today. That's it. So once we're done at 7 o'clock, there won't be any more of those. So
I wonder if those guys that hauled off the tree are going to come back and clean this mess up. That's the next big question.
Well, let me ask you this. If they don't come back and clean up, who would do it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dropping things. I don't know.
Yeah. We would assume
I think everybody will just sort of ignore it.
Yeah.
Like, if they acknowledge it, they'll have to clean it up. So
we need a broom and a dustpan and a garbage bag, and I think we take care of that in about 15 minutes. It'll sweep up nicely on the tile floor.
There's a dead squirrel over in the floor. There was a squirrel in there. And on that note,
I'll see you Thursday.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. We'll go next from Andy and the cleaning up the Christmas tree. That's good stuff there. Yeah, buddy. That was good. That was a good 8 minutes of broadcasting history right there. Charlie and the boys taking the tree out, and we'll go from that to NASCAR, college basketball, high school basketball, Major League Baseball. Got some news. Yu Darvish, young man who pitched for the Dodgers after leaving the Rangers midseason, moving on to the Dodgers. Now he's moving on in the free agent market, and so Yu Darvish may have found a new home. We'll tell you about that. Also, what's the very latest on J.D. Martinez and Eric Hosmer and some of the other big names still? Jake Arrieta still not signed. Where are they going to be? Where are they going to play? We don't know yet. We'll take a look at that coming up. But next, we'll go NASCAR to Northern Virginia with our buddy Mike Hedrick on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is Phil Pipkin, owner of Phil's Dream Pit. Do you like smoked turkey? Do you like smoked ham? For your Christmas or New Year's dinner, enjoy a spiral sliced smoked ham or smoked turkey breast smoked right here at Phil's Dream Pit. Smoked hams, 9 to 11 pounds at $8.50 a pound. The smoked turkey breast goes from 2 to 4 pounds at $11.49 per pound. Order by Tuesday, December the 19th. Pick up Friday, December the 22nd, or Saturday, December 23rd. Let us take care of your Christmas or New Year's dinner with a smoked turkey breast or spiral smoked ham. Call 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
The 2018 Cal Calendar in now for a limited time at Chick-fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. A 20th anniversary retrospective titled Steers of Yesteryear, including a card with a wide range of free food offerings across the Chick-fil-A menu. Only $8 plus tax, but hurry, supplies are limited. Each month gives you the chance to collect free Chick-fil-A menu items. The offers vary each month, but hurry, supplies are limited. The 2018 Chick-fil-A Steers of Yesteryear Calendar on sale now at Chick-fil-A at The Crossings in North Johnson City. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Let's go to the phonies there. Our first show with this young man, first of many. I guess twice a week for about 50 weeks, well over 100 shows this year. Mike Hedrick, NASCAR fans reporter in Northern Virginia. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Tom, you always get me to follow up a tough situation. How am I going to follow up a squirrel and a Christmas tree right there and the shenanigans you guys had going on there at Champion Chevrolet? Good gracious.
There you go. You knew it was going to be a good day when we had the video or got a chance to video live the taking down of the Christmas tree in the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. So he gets to follow that up, and he is here ready to go. So, gosh, NASCAR, we are 47 days away from the Daytona 500, and we doing our countdown. We're 103 days away from Jimmy Johnson defending his crown for the Food City 500. So we got lots to talk about. Let's jump in and go. What is the very latest on Tony Stewart and the Ward family in that tragic situation?
Well, without getting into the whole thing between between the Ward family and Tony Stewart, we know that there was a death with the young Kevin Ward Jr. A year or so ago on the track. It was an on-track thing, and then we knew that there had been a criminal lawsuit against Tony Stewart filed by the family, and he was not found guilty in that. But they've been pursuing a civil court case against him, and a district judge had actually signed something that said that the waivers that they signed were no good. So let me just kind of go in a wrongful death, and I'm getting this from Bob Pockrass, and this is coming straight from NASCAR. In the wrongful death lawsuit against Tony Stewart by the parents of Kevin Ward Jr., Stewart has filed a motion requesting that an immediate appeal to the last district court's judge, saying that the liabilities waivers were no good. Stewart claims that when they do get to the trial, which has been set for May, the main thing that he's going to argue is against that ruling. He argues that the ruling is wrong, and I'm going to quote Tony Stewart here. Stewart also argues that the decision creates a, quote, an immediate chilling effect on the continuation of racing industry in New York. And what he means by that is if you tell track owners and facilities that the waivers that they had drivers and team owners sign to keep them from being sued, if you're telling the track owners and all that these waivers are no good in the state of New York, that could put a chilling effect on the racing that goes on. Tracks may not want to have that liability. So without getting into the case, and we don't know the right or wrong, that's up to judges and people sit there, it really looks like that the Ward family has really pushed this to the point where, you know, there could possibly be, taking out racing in New York State that they loved and their family loved just for this whole thing. So without getting into the right or the wrong of it, this is a big case coming up. And if like I said, if the judge rules against and says that waivers in the state of New York are no good, I think it's going to have a chilling effect of local racing all over this country.
I think you're exactly right. So a lot of the local tracks, if you will, are watching this with a lot of interest, as well they should be. So we'll keep an eye on it as well. We're talking to our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR Fans reporter. Dale Jr., is he going to race any in 2018? What do you think?
Well, he said that he was going to race it. We knew that, and not many people caught this. It was over the holidays, but I was reading through Twitter, and NASCAR asked a question out to all of the fans, and they basically said, you know, if you were telling a first-time fan, you know, what would be the track to go to, what would you tell them? Well, Dale Jr. himself got on there, and his answer was, of course, Bristol and Martinsville. So it's great that he liked Bristol. Well, a fan in that same thread just boldly asked Dale. They asked Dale, hey, Dale, when are you going to be, racing next? And Dale Jr. himself answered. He said he's going to be racing the Xfinity race in Richmond at the fall race. And so not many people know that just yet. This is something that's just coming out here on the Tom Taylor Show. But, hey, go get your Xfinity Richmond race tickets to see Dale Jr. because as soon as the public gets this, as soon as Richmond International Raceway, or Richmond Raceway nowadays, can confirm this, they're going to really push it that this is Dale back on the track, and those tickets are going to sell out fast. So good heads up for people that listen to the Tom Taylor Sports Show because you know that Dale is going to be at the Xfinity race racing at Richmond in the fall race.
And I can give you the date for that, too, right now, if you're interested in knowing. Let's see, the fall race in Richmond will be coming up on the Xfinity race September the 21st. The NASCAR Xfinity Series in Richmond. So I like to see him come out and say we'll race at Bristol too. One of the races, maybe the Xfinity race in the spring. That's just me. Don't go out and say, oh, he's coming to Bristol. But I would like to see him come back to Bristol. Bristol was good to him, and we did a lot for him when he was here as far as his goodbye farewell tour. So it'd be nice to see him again. Get behind the wheel at Bristol Motor Speedway, which would be a really cool thing. Panthers and NASCAR, the Carolina Panthers. What's the very latest on that, Mike Hedrick?
Well, we talked last time that the NFL Carolina Panthers are going to go up for sale at the end of the season. And then we also reported that SMI chairman Bruton Smith said back in 2016 that he was very interested in buying the NFL franchise if it became available. But he's not the only one interested. Kicking the Tires is reporting that over this previous week or so that Felix Sabato, his name come across as a possible buyer of the Panther. Now, Felix Sabato is currently a minority owner of Chip Ganassi Racing and a minority owner of the Charlotte Hornets, the region's local National Basketball Association franchise. So I'm not sure, but there's a lot of interest in the Carolina Panthers. A lot of it coming from NASCAR itself. I'm not sure if Felix Sabato wants to get into a bidding war against Bruton Smith, but both of them would be great for NFL for sure, and it would keep that franchise right there in the hands of the local community right there in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So you heard a scoop just a few minutes ago. You heard Dale Jr. said, again, it was relayed to you on the Tom Taylor Sports Show by our NASCAR fan reporter Mike Hedrick. It's why we have him on twice a week. A plethora of information, always digging for the stories most people don't find. And so Dale Jr. has said he will race in the Xfinity race in the fall, September the 21st Xfinity race at Richmond International Raceway. So that's pretty cool stuff. Also, a big sponsor not coming back to NASCAR, which is not good news. What's the very latest on Coors Light?
Yeah, this is really kind of surprising to me. NASCAR's announced that the sides were not able to come to an agreement to renew the deal with Coors Light to be the official beer of NASCAR in the last recent weeks. and they actually said the side's confirmed on Friday that they're kind of moving on. So I don't know what's really going to happen with that. I'll just make a prediction. I think Busch Beer will step up in an effort to bring their brand back into the sports. If people remember years back that the Xfinity Series or the Nationwide Series was actually called the Busch Series for a while, and then Anheuser-Busch wanted to push the Budweiser brand, and so then there was the Budweiser car, and of course Dale Jr. in the Bud car was famous for a long time. That Budweiser car went over to Kevin Harvick when he went to Stewart-Haas, but Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch decided that they wanted to push the Busch brand back into NASCAR. So the Bud car was no more. Kevin Harvick drives the Busch car, and so maybe look for them to get in. The problem is there's not really a lot of big beer manufacturers out there, especially with the preference of young people going with these micro beers and micro spirits and those kinds of things. So in the big scheme of things, when it comes to racing, beer's not that important, but anytime you have a sponsor kind of problem or, a little bit of that, that's always concerning. I think the state of NASCAR is very strong. I think it's going to be great racing this year. I think that there's good sponsors coming on. So I'd like to see this hole get filled up, just as we'd like to see that Monster hole get filled up, whether Monster Energy is going to continue after the 2018 season. So a couple big sponsor questions for NASCAR right there.
Exactly, and of course Monster Energy, they asked for an extension. NASCAR gave it to them. Well, the way I looked at it, I thought about this over the break, that NASCAR really didn't have a choice, Mike, because that's all they got right now. I don't know if they got a plan B, but so Monster Energy said we need an extension to make a decision whether we're going to come back or not, and so NASCAR said, yeah, we'll go ahead and let you have it, but we'll see. But if Monster Energy pulls away, is there a plan B out there that you're hearing right now as far as someone can jump in there and fill in the hole that Monster backs away?
I haven't heard. Of course, now my little ear to the ground is not really close to the track and right there in Charlotte, so I'm not hearing all of some of the closest things. But I haven't heard of a big sponsor that would be willing to be in there. Now, it would take a real big sponsor. You would hate to see NASCAR split the sponsorship or the title sponsorship between two different ones. But I haven't heard anything. We're just going to go ahead and hope that Monster seals up the deal. They've been great for the sport. I mean, I've been a fan of everything that I've seen, what they've done at the track, the excitement between all the other different motor racings and the bikes doing the jumps and the trucks and all that kind of stuff. So I'd like to see them keep continuing the sport, and we'll just hope that they work that out.
You got it. So anything you want to leave us with? Again, you're going to rejoin us on Friday because lots more information really going to start cranking up now, getting ready for the Clash. And as we said, 47 days out for the Daytona 500. So lots of news going to start cranking up now for the new year. And before we leave you for this day, is there anything you want to leave us with on this Tuesday?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and leave everybody with just kind of a sad note. We always try to be respectful. There's, good comes along, and tough things happen in our sport. Racing media lost a good guy here this last couple of days ago. His name was Steve Blevins, and he was actually a radio producer with Motor Racing Network, which we know is MRN, and Performance Racing Network, which is PRN. But really, the man, Steve Blevins, he actually started in radio about 30 years ago in Bristol, Tennessee, and one of his buddies, Alex Hayden, tweeted the other day, letting the news out there, and his quote was, "Rest easy, Blev." So we lost a good guy. It's always tough when you have media, go young, and he looked like a young fella. So just want to, God bless him and his family, and just wish him all the prayers that can be.
Yep, used to work at WXBQ Radio here in Bristol, and so Steve Blevins, a longtime NASCAR guy, and cut his teeth at Bristol and moved on down to the home office in Daytona. So we lose a good guy, and our thoughts and prayers, obviously, as you said, are with his family and his friends and his colleagues. So we lose a good one, and be tough shoes to fill, I can tell you that. Mike Hedrick, you're awesome, my friend. Thank you, as always. Screen Taters, and we'll rejoin you on Friday, all right?
Screen Taters, everybody. Hey, God bless everybody real good.
You got it. That's a good man right there, Mike Hedrick. We'll have him right back with us on Friday as we'll be live at Food City on the Volunteer Parkway in Bristol. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Kevin Harmon joins us coming up at the bottom of the hour talking Tennessee sports. But coming up next, we've got college basketball. We've got the NBA, got the National Hockey League, and told you I wouldn't, and all I'm going to do is give you the games of the NFL, but I will give you a big update on Jason Witten, young man out of Elizabethton, and so we'll talk about him and how he goes with his future for the football team, for the Dallas Cowboys. We are going to talk about that. I'll tell you who's playing where on Saturday in the NFL, and that's it. But we're going to talk a lot about college hoops and the NBA and the National Hockey League coming up next year on show number 658, live from Champion Chevrolet on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's the best month of the year to buy a new Chevy at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City with unbelievable savings on over 200 2017s in stock. The rarely offered Chevrolet employee discount for everyone offers the best savings of the year. 17 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 17 Corvettes, 20% off MSRP. 18 Equinox LS, $22,740. 17 Track, $17,983. Remember our Saturday parts and service hours and online shopping 24/7. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Champion Chevrolet, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Champion Chevrolet. Again, you have one more day. As we said, today is the last day for you to come in and get the employee discount if you were a General Motors or Chevrolet employee. So if you want to get the same discount if you're an employee of General Motors and Chevrolet, today's the last day on all 2017 Chevy vehicles. And again, Andy said he sold 6 or 8 yesterday, so they're still, even though it's cold outside, the deals are still very, very good here at Champion Chevrolet. So if you want to take advantage for this final day, and this is it, there won't be any more tomorrow, won't be any more next week, this is it. This is the final day of the employee pricing. This is not a sales pitch or a gimmick. This is the way it is. It's a fact. And so the employee pricing on all 2017 Chevrolet vehicles ends today at 7 o'clock. So if you're interested, want to come by here and sit down and take a look at and see what they've got, or get online at championjc.com and see what they've got. College basketball, the new polls out this week. And the new number 1, the Spartans of Michigan State at number 1. Villanova falls to number 3. So it's Michigan State, Duke, Villanova, Arizona State, Xavier, West Virginia up a notch to number 6 this week. Oklahoma, Virginia, Wichita State, and Kansas rounding out the top 10. Then comes Texas A&M, North Carolina, the defending national champions, are 12th. Purdue 13th, Arizona 14th, Miami 15th, TCU 16th, Kentucky at number 17 this week, Texas Tech 18th, Gonzaga 19th, and then you have 20th ranked the Cincinnati Bearcats, Seton Hall 21, Arkansas 22. Tennessee, the Volunteers fall 4 notches to number 23 this week. Florida State 24th, and Clemson cracks the top 25 at number 25. Last night, West Virginia makes it 13 in a row. Mountaineers defeat Kansas State 77-69 for the Mounties to go now 13-1 on the season. They won 13 in a row, and so that's a big win for Bobby Huggins and the West Virginia Mountaineers. Big win last night for West Virginia. Tonight it goes as follows. Here's how it shakes out. Top 25 basketball. Number 5 Xavier taking on Butler tonight. 10th ranked Kansas battling number 18 Texas Tech. Also tonight you have Texas A&M taking on the Florida Gators. That'll be going on again at Texas A&M. 16th ranked TCU at Baylor tonight. 22nd ranked Arkansas, the Razorbacks, at Mississippi State. And 23rd ranked Tennessee, the Volunteers tonight taking on Auburn at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville, and a 7 o'clock tip-off tonight for the men of Rick Barnes. NBA from last night looks like this. You had 4 games on tap. Toronto, the Raptors defeat Milwaukee 131-127. You had Brooklyn with a 3-point win, 98-95 over Orlando. Lakers go down again. Minnesota beat them 114-96. Lakers now 11-24 on the season. And Portland gets a 4-point win on the road at Chicago against the Bulls. Final there was 124-120. And that's your schedule from last night. Tonight, Portland in Cleveland to battle LeBron and the Cavaliers. San Antonio in New York to battle the Knicks. Atlanta, the Hawks in Phoenix. Sacramento hosting Charlotte. And Memphis, the Grizzlies will be in L.A. to battle the Clippers. Top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference starting the week. Boston at 30-10. Toronto at 24-10. Cleveland, the Cavaliers at 24-12. Detroit 20-15. And Washington, the Wizards at 21-16. That's your top 5 of the Eastern Conference. In the Western Conference, best record in the NBA, Golden State, the defending world champions, at 29-8. Houston, the Rockets, right behind them, the second best record in the NBA at 26-9. Although they lose James Harden for up to 2 months with an injury. Harden out for 2 weeks. I'm sorry, not 2 months. 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. Spurs, San Antonio, the third best in the Western Conference at 25-12. Minnesota 23-14, and Oklahoma City, the fifth best team in the Western Conference right now at 20-17. Again tonight, your schedule: Cavaliers hosting Portland, Spurs in New York to battle the Knicks, Phoenix hosting Atlanta, Charlotte at Sacramento, and Memphis will take on LA Clippers in Los Angeles. In the National Hockey League from last night, one on the ice. Of course, they skated outdoors at Citi Field. It was the New York Rangers, a 3-2 win over Buffalo yesterday. That was outside at Citi Field, the outdoor skating National Hockey League game of the year, and so it was won by the Rangers 3-2. Your standings in the Eastern Conference, your 5 best teams in the National Hockey League right now: Tampa Bay, the Capitals, New Jersey, the Boston Bruins, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, top 5 of the Eastern Conference. In the Western Conference, the best record in the National Hockey League, the Vegas Golden Knights at 26-9. Winnipeg, second best. Then comes Nashville, the third best in the Western Conference at 23-10. LA Kings at 23-11, and the St. Louis Blues at 24-15. And so your 3 best teams record-wise in the National Hockey League right now, heading into this week's action: Tampa Bay, Vegas, and the Nashville Predators, the top 3. On the ice tonight is a busy night. Nashville, by the way, skating at Vegas. Great matchup. Nashville 23-10. Vegas with the best record in the National Hockey League at 26-9. They'll skate tonight. That'll be going on in Vegas at 10 o'clock our time. Other matches tonight on the ice: Pittsburgh skates at Philadelphia. Tampa Bay at Toronto, that's a good matchup. Washington at Carolina. The Boston Bruins in New York against the Islanders. San Jose and Montreal against the Canadiens. The Blues hosting New Jersey in the battle of one of the top teams, 2 teams in the National Hockey League. Florida skates in Minnesota. Columbus and Dallas. Colorado hosting Winnipeg. LA Kings will skate in Edmonton tonight against the Oilers. Anaheim and Vancouver, and Nashville, as we said, skates against the Vegas Golden Knights in Las Vegas. And that's a look again of the National Hockey League, the NBA, and college basketball. On the women's side in college hoops, let's run those down for you again. The top 10 in women's college basketball: UConn, Notre Dame, Louisville, South Carolina, and Mississippi State. Top 5 stay the same this week. Then comes the Baylor Lady Bears. Tennessee stays. Lady Vols at number 7. Texas at number 8. Oregon at number 9. And rounding out the top 10, the Ohio State Lady Buckeyes. West Virginia's Lady Mountaineers in at number 12 this week, dropping 3 notches from 9 to 12. And so a couple of new ones in this week. Stanford and Arizona State, 24th and 25th respectively in the women's college basketball poll. But again, you have Tennessee Lady Vols, a solid 13-0 at number 7 right now in the country in women's college basketball. NFL, let's run them down for a wild card this weekend coming up on Saturday. Tennessee, Kansas City, the early game. Then the second game, NFC wild card game on Saturday. Excuse me. The Atlanta Falcons in L.A. to battle the Rams. That's all coming up on Saturday. On Sunday, early game, Buffalo at Jacksonville. And the second game in the NFC will be Carolina in New Orleans against the Saints. And that's your NFL wildcard weekend again Saturday. AFC, Tennessee, Kansas City. NFC, Atlanta at L.A. And then on Sunday, AFC, Buffalo at Jacksonville. NFC, Carolina at New Orleans. And that's your NFL playoffs. That's all we're going to talk about that. How about it? Jason Witten will be back for a 16th season. Good stuff. Jason Witten telling the reporters, oh, yeah, I'm coming back. I love playing this game too much. I know I can play at a high level. Witten has played every single game for the Cowboys since October 2003. 14 years. Every single game for 14 years. Hasn't missed a start since 2006. Jason Witten, not quite as effective as he once was. That's not his fault. I don't think they go to him enough. But Dak Prescott, whenever he happens to look for him, throws downfield to him. And the guy had his lowest catch total, 63. His lowest yardage catch of the year, 560 yards since his rookie year. But he says he's still got plenty left in the tank. I think your offensive coordinator needs to take a real strong look at looking a big 82 down the field all the time. Jerry Jones already stated that head coach Jason Garrett will be back, but it's possible the team moves on from offensive coordinator Scott Linehan. And so Witten will be 36 years old next season, and it's possible he sees his role reduced, but he should still be a very valuable option as both a blocker and an outlet receiver. I think they're missing the boat. I don't think they throw to him nearly enough. I mean, the guy, his record speaks for himself. His stats speak for himself. Get him the football. I mean, throw downfield, pick you up a first down, 8 to 10 yards at a catch. Guy's averaging 12 yards a catch in his career. Get Jason Witten the football. So his role's reduced. If it's reduced, it's only because the Cowboys reduced it, because Jason Witten can still obviously play the game. So we hope for big things in 2018 for Jason Witten. First and foremost, he said he is coming back for his 16th season for the Dallas Cowboys. How about a good story? They're all, most sports stories are good, but this one's a good one, really good one. A quick-thinking coach averted what could have been a terrible bus accident for the Dubuque women's basketball team. The Division III team from Iowa was driving back from a tournament in Nashville Sunday morning. About 90 minutes into the trip, assistant coach Justin Smith was jolted from his seat when the bus hit a guardrail on Interstate 24 in Kentucky. The driver had passed out from a medical condition. The bus going 70 miles an hour. Smith leaped into action, hitting the brakes and stopping the bus. Apart from the driver, everything on the bus was okay. And so the driver was conscious and taken to a hospital in Paducah, Kentucky. And so this assistant coach, Justin Smith, after stopping the bus, Smith and the other coaches got the vehicle out of harm's way. It was still on the highway and could have been hit from behind. So he sprinted about 100 yards down the interstate behind the bus to get traffic away from the bus and make sure there were no other accidents. So this is the women's basketball team from Dubuque, Iowa, the Division III team on their way back from Nashville. The driver got sick. He had told him he had not been feeling good, and so he again had a medical condition behind the wheel, and so again the bus was out of control, hit a guardrail, and so Justin Smith jumped into action, hit the brakes, got the bus stopped, and everything's okay. And a great job done there by assistant coach Justin Smith from Dubuque, Iowa women's basketball team, which is a really cool thing, and we applaud what he did. So there we go. Before we go to the break, high school basketball tonight, weather permitting. Of course, the cold, not necessarily the snow, but the cold may prevent some of these from happening. I know schools are out today and some of the systems here locally, which always raises the question, if you can't go to school, how can you go out that night and play basketball? I just think that's wrong. If there's no school, you don't play hoops. It's real simple, but that's just me, and I'm old school. So here we go. Boys basketball schedule tonight. Everything is on as far as we know. Elizabethton at Crockett, Johnson County at Cloudland, Kachia, the homeschoolers at Sullivan South tonight, Volunteer at Sullivan East, Science Hill at Unicoi County, Sullivan Central at Tennessee High, Unaka at Happy Valley, South Green at Hampton, and West Green will be at North Green. Tonight in Virginia, J.I. Burton Eastside, Thomas Walker at Twin Springs, and Castlewood at Rye Cove. Those are the games scheduled tonight for guys. For the ladies, you have Daniel Boone at Sullivan Central, Elizabethton ladies at Crockett, Johnson County at Cloudland, Kachia at Sullivan South, Science Hills Lady Hilltoppers at Unicoi County, Unaka at Happy Valley, Volunteer at Sullivan East, Sullivan Central's ladies tonight at Tennessee High at the Stone Castle. No, at Viking Hall. Stone Castle's football. They'll be at Viking Hall tonight indoors. West Green and North Green. South Green and Hampton take on the Lady Bulldogs. And in Virginia tonight, Castlewood at Rye Cove, J.I. Burton at Eastside, Lehigh at Harlan, Kentucky, and Thomas Walker at Twin Springs. That's your basketball game tonight. As far as we know, they're all on. And so we'll have to wait and see, get a confirmation a little bit later on. But as of right now, everything is on despite the cold temperatures. There has been some school systems out today, but unless we're told otherwise, these games are on for tonight. Hey, we're live at Champion Chevrolet. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Kevin Harmon's going to join us coming up in just a few minutes, give us an update on Tennessee football. The Tennessee men's basketball team, big game tonight against Auburn, and also the Lady Vols, again, currently undefeated and 7th in the country. We'll get an update again from Kev about all that right after you hear this, as we're live here at Champion Chevrolet, show number 658 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is Phil Pipkin, owner of Phil's Dream Pit. Do you like smoked turkey? Do you like smoked ham? For your Christmas or New Year's dinner, enjoy a spiral sliced smoked ham or smoked turkey breast, smoked right here at Phil's Dream Pit. Smoked hams, 9 to 11 pounds at $8.50 a pound. The smoked turkey breast goes from 2 to 4 pounds at $11.49 per pound. Order by Tuesday, December the 19th. Pick up Friday, December the 22nd, or Saturday, December 23rd. Let us take care of your Christmas or New Year's dinner with a smoked turkey breast or spiral smoked ham. Call 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
The 2018 Cal Calendar in now for a limited time at Chick-fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. A 20th anniversary retrospective titled Steers of Yesteryear, including a card with a wide range of free food offerings across the Chick-fil-A menu. Only $8 plus tax, but hurry, supplies are limited. Each month gives you the chance to collect free Chick-fil-A menu items. The offers vary each month, but hurry, supplies are limited. The 2018 Chick-fil-A Steers of Yesteryear Calendar on sale now at Chick-fil-A at The Crossings in North Johnson City. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again. Before we go to the break, when Kevin Harmon will join us here, we want to again update you on East Tennessee State Buccaneer basketball. Bucks on the road at Sanford coming up on Thursday night. Then at Johnson City. Let's see, at Sanford, I should say. Then at Chattanooga. So we'll be at Sanford. They will be at Sanford, rather. I'm trying to talk here. Okay, so I got to call him. All right, thank you. Thursday, the Bucks will be at Sanford. Saturday, they'll be at Chattanooga before they come back home, take on UNC Greensboro next Thursday night on the 11th. That's their next home game. They got two back-to-back on the 11th and 13th at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. So the Bucks, the big win to open up the conference on over the weekend at Mercer. And so they've got at Sanford on Thursday and at Chattanooga on Saturday. The Tennessee men's team, by the way, has Auburn tonight, 7 o'clock tip-off at Thompson Bowling Arena. Then they go... Let's see, they entertain Kentucky on Saturday night at Thompson Bowling Arena at 9 o'clock tip-off on the 6th. Then you have a trip to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. So the next three, Auburn tonight at home, Kentucky, 9 o'clock tip-off on Saturday at home, then at Vanderbilt next Tuesday at 9 o'clock for the Tennessee men's basketball team. And let's see, I have them all. Virginia Tech, the Hokies, their next game for the men's team is tomorrow night against Virginia at Castle Coliseum in Blacksburg. So that's what's coming up again for men's college basketball involving our local D1 teams. And again, if you're interested, and you probably aren't, but we are, the Marshall Thundering Herd out of the gate at 10-4, having a great run so far. They will play Saturday night in Huntington against Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. So there you go. If you're a Thundering Herd fan back up in Huntington and Charleston, hello to AT and all the folks up yonder. We want to say, go Herd. We are Marshall. Yeah, we like it. Let's see. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We'll get him on the horn. Our buddy Kevin Harmon joins us coming up next. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. We'll take a break, and we'll get him on the horn and talk a little Tennessee sports next year on show number 658 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's go to the phone. He's there, our buddy Kevin Harmon with us. And good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. We got a big time delay, but that's okay. We'll work through it. So I'm going to get out of the way. Tell me what the very latest on Tennessee football. What's going on with the Volunteers right now?
Well, it's a dead period in recruiting, so not much is happening there. And, you got Jeremy Pruitt, who will now coach Alabama in the championship game against Georgia. But with a dead period, you cannot contact recruits outside of texting. So the first thing he'll have to do is finish up his staff. He got his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator set. I think he has to get a couple of other assistants. And from there, it will be towards recruiting. We still have 13 scholarships to give. Hopefully, we'll make quite a splash. He's got the number one JUCO offensive tackle out of Arizona. He signed quite a few JUCO players, and he's let some go. John Kelly has decided to turn pro, but he's got some big commitments with some bigger running backs. And it looks like we're going to go to more of a power I running set because of the size of the running backs he's recruiting. So, right now when he gets done, it's going to be recruiting. Then the focus on spring football, and then he has to also finish out his staff. So I'm kind of excited about it. I think he's going to be a good football coach.
So, again, we're talking to Kevin Arnold. If you had to grade the recruiting to this point, given the fact that he hadn't had a full chance to go out and recruit because he's still coaching for Alabama, grade what he's done so far recruiting, A, B, C, or D?
I give him, he lost Kate Mays, but no big deal to me. He did get the Carbon kid, and he got Ollie Lane, and so he's got some big linemen. He got the big offensive tackle out of Arizona. So he's got some more offensive linemen that are coming to look. And we lead now for the Copeland kid. We lead now for Johnson, the linebacker, one of your top linebackers. We also lead what was his name? Out of Jeremy Johnson is the linebacker. Jeremy Copeland is wide receiver out of Florida. And they're both top 50 players. And we lead for both of them as well. And also Elijah Griffin out of California, who is one of the top quarterbacks in the country, says Tennessee leads. So we're looking pretty good. Leading doesn't mean it's actually after the dead period is over, which is ends January 12th. So I'm very optimistic. Very optimistic. I think we went through the coaching search and having to fire an athletic director. We came out. I think we're smelling like a rose right now. All things considered, we have really hit the ground running, and I think we did as good as we could do in hiring a coach and getting things sort of going in the right direction.
We're talking to Kevin Harmon again. His cell phone's a little bit iffy, so we're catching bits and pieces, but we're going to keep him on the line. So let's take a look tonight. The men's basketball team hosting Auburn at Thompson Bowling Arena. What's your take on Tennessee men's basketball?
Well, they should win the game. Pearl's got some good players, but I don't think they're to Tennessee's level. They don't have Tennessee's depth. It's disappointing they lost to Arkansas. They should have won that game. They imploded again with the press at the very end, and the same thing they did with North Carolina. We've got to learn, that's coaching. I love Barnes, but, we should be able to get the ball in bounds on a press, on a zone press at the very end of a game. Now, with the ball handlers we have, there's no excuse. I went to the Wake Forest game in Winston-Salem, and Tennessee looked like gang beaters. I mean, won that game by 19, hit big bucket after big bucket. Jordan Bone went to the hole. It was a great, great basketball team effort. I expect more of that, and I believe at home, that's what we have to hold serve at home. We have to hold serve at home. We've got Kentucky coming in Saturday. We've got to hold serve tonight, and we've got to win our home games and at least split on the road to get, we have Iowa State in the Big 10 or the Big 12 SEC shootout in Ames, Iowa. So we're going to lose a few games, but we need to hold serve at home. Tonight's a big game. I expect Tennessee to win, but also there's no pushover. So it should be a good game. We got Pearl coming back into town. It doesn't have the bluster it once had, but we did stay out of foul trouble. Got to keep Grant Williams on the floor. And we, we just got to be able to handle the adversity at the end of a basketball game. That seems to be our biggest downfall right now.
On the other side of the coin, the Lady Vols ranked 7th in the country, 13-0. They will host Auburn's Lady War Eagles coming up on Thursday night. So Tennessee also has Vanderbilt coming in on Sunday at noon. So the Lady Vols have back-to-back home games. And what's your take on the Lady Vols right now?
Well, the three freshmen are really redefine that program right now. What can you say? I thought they might struggle with Kentucky at Kentucky. And they came out and jumped on to a 30-12 lead. They beat Stanford at Stanford, and we talked last time we talked. How they do at Stanford will kind of define how they're going to do. Because Stanford's not easy in Palo Alto, and they whipped them. So this is getting back to where we were. This is fun, and this is where the Lady Vols need to be. And I'm very optimistic now. And these three freshmen have really. It's a shot in the arm, and plus with Diamond DeShields gone, Jamie Nard has really picked up her game, and so has Mercedes Russell. So Tennessee is a formidable foe now. I don't know if we're at the Connecticut's level, but we'll see. We'll see how we do as the season goes on. These freshmen are only going to get better. Teams are only going to play better together, and I'm excited about the Lady Vols. So basketball is looking really good. And after football season, we need something to hang our hat on.
You got that right. John Kelly not going to be back for Tennessee football. Is that his choice or Jeremy Pruitt's choice, rather?
I think his choice because he has grade issues.
Yeah. He didn't go to class, from what I was told. So
yeah, I'll kind of get you if you don't go to class.
Yeah, you got to go to class. Big John didn't go to class much.
Yeah, if you're a leader on that football team like he was, and to get suspended like he had to be, and then to not go to class and have to go to pro. I mean, it's very disappointing. I think he's going to cost himself some money if he's drafted at all. That's very disappointing. He's supposed to be a leader on that team, and he just absolutely let his teammates down.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, my friend, I appreciate you very much. What do you want to leave us with today, my friend?
Well, a shout out to Alvin Kamara. How about this kid? He's going to be Rookie of the Year in the NFL. He was really underutilized at Tennessee, but in a way that was good because he has a little bit more steam in the NFL. Did you see? I don't know if you saw that first play against the Buccaneers. When he took the kickoff 6 yards deep in the end zone, ran the goal line and stopped, contemplated on taking a knee, but then ran it out and took it to the distance. Very first play of the game against Tampa Bay. He's had a phenomenal year. He's also in the conversation for the MVP in the NFL. He's definitely going to be the Rookie of the Year. Well, shout out to Alvin Kamara and the great job he's done in representing Tennessee. And couldn't be happier for the kid, and, makes you a Saints fan. So, if anybody, I don't want to see the Patriots win again, so I'll go for the Saints. But he's had a really, really, really good year. And, for a Tennessee fan, it's just great to see stuff like that.
And last thing, any updates on where Butch Jones may land, or has he landed?
I don't pay attention to Butch Jones anymore. I have no idea. Hadn't heard. Doesn't look like anywhere at this moment.
There you go. Kevin Harmon, great report, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Stay warm out there.
Go Big Orange. I will stay warm. It's cold.
There you go. Our buddy Kevin Harmon, appreciate him very much checking in with us. Phone got a little bit better there towards the end, so I'm not sure. It just, bless his heart, I'm not sure why, but it doesn't seem to work when we get together, but that's okay. We got in what we wanted, and basically he said Jeremy Pruitt's did a pretty good job recruiting, given the fact he's still on the coaching staff at Alabama, and obviously will coach now through the national championship next Monday night. So he's an Alabama guy during the day and a Tennessee guy at night, which is interesting because of the rivalry and just all the kind of an odd, difficult situation to be in. I would think that you're Alabama all the way against Georgia now for the national championship during the day, and then in the evening you're out making phone calls and visiting, doing whatever you can with your Tennessee hat on. So given the close proximity to the three programs, Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, I would think it'd be a rather peculiar position to be in, but hey, it is what it is, and Saban's okay with it, it looks like, and so train rolls on for Jeremy Pruitt and the Tennessee football team. Men's team takes on Auburn tonight. The Tennessee Volunteers 7 o'clock tip tonight from Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. And then, as we said, and Kevin said, and I said, Kentucky rolls into town coming up on Saturday. So the Wildcats will hit Thompson Bowling Arena for a 9 o'clock tip-off on Saturday night. It's Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We are live here at Champion Chevrolet. And we'll come back and close things out, but tell you about Will Graham coming to town, which is a really big deal. Can't wait to see that happen in April. We'll talk about Will Graham and also some Major League Baseball. We'll do that right after this. Tomorrow will be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday right back here at Champion. And then Friday we'll be at Food City on the Volunteer Parkway in Bristol. Quick break. We'll be right back. We are live here at Champion Chevrolet. Come back for the remaining few moments here on show number 658 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's the best month of the year to buy a new Chevy at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City with unbelievable savings on over 200 2017s in stock. The rarely offered Chevrolet Employee Discount for Everyone offers the best savings of the year. 17 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 17 Corvettes, 20% off MSRP. 18 Equinox LS, $22,740. 17 Track, $17,983. Remember our Saturday parts and service hours and online shopping 24/7. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Champion Chevrolet, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show for a few more minutes to run down some Major League Baseball news for you. The Colorado Rockies have spent the offseason bulking up their bullpen. This past Friday, they signed veteran closer Wade Davis to a new 3-year contract. Again, it's the highest per year salary ever for a relief pitcher. Again, $52 million for 3 years for Wade Davis, the highest per year salary ever for a relief pitcher. And so the $17.3 million average annual value beats the contract signed by Aroldis Chapman and Kenley Jansen last offseason. This guy is set, coming off his 3rd straight All-Star season, saved 32 games and 33 chances last season for the Cubs with a 2.30 ERA. Davis, still one of baseball's better relievers. He is now a Colorado Rocky. New York Yankees say they are looking very strongly now at Yu Darvish. They're interested in Darvish coming over from the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're also looking at Garrett Cole, the ace of the Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll have Greg on Thursday. Greg Shire of the very latest in Major League Baseball, but again, he had 209 strikeouts and 186 innings for the Rangers and Dodgers combined last year, so he is out there on the free agent market, yet to be signed. So the Yankees are now beginning to express some interest in Yu Darvish to bolster their starting rotation for the New York Yankees coming up 2018. They've had a heck of a year in the offseason. With CC Sabathia, of course, Giancarlo Stanton, that's the biggie. And so these guys are, the Yankees, really getting ready to set the tone for themselves for the 2018 season. Before we get out of here, I want to again remind you about NASCAR. We're not that far out. We are 47 days from the Daytona 500. We're 103 days away from the Food City 500. You can get your Food City 500 tickets right now at any and all Food Cities. $50 for adult tickets, $10 for kids 12 and under. That's the Cup race. The Xfinity Series, which is the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 on April the 14th. Tickets for $30 for adults for those races. Or for that race, rather. Kids get in free, 12 and under, for the Xfinity Series race coming up on April the 14th at Bristol Motor Speedway. I like this, too. When every ticket you purchase at Food City, you get 500 additional value points on your Food City value card. So you get a gas fill-up. Filled up last week gas at $2.04. I loved it. And so your Food City value card, you get 500 additional value points for every ticket you purchase for Bristol Motor Speedway. So, again, the spring race, the Food City 500, adult tickets are $50. Kid tickets are $10 for kids 12 and under. And then also the NASCAR Xfinity Series on April the 14th on that Saturday. The Fitzgerald Glider Kit 300 tickets are $30 for adults. Kids get in free in the Xfinity Series coming up in April and August again this year at Bristol Motor Speedway. So we'll be at Food City at Volunteer Parkway on Friday, broadcasting live there, our very first Food City Friday show of the new year. And so we will continue to pound the drum about getting your tickets at Food City and putting 500 value points in your pocket for every ticket you purchase. If you obviously can do the math, if you went in and bought 2 or 3 tickets, 4 tickets, that's 2,000 value points. That's a lot of gas fill-ups at Food City when you buy your tickets from Food City for the racing at the world's last great Coliseum coming up in April of this year, which is 103 days away to the Food City 500. So it's cold outside. Yeah, it's really, really cold, but you know what? It's going to be moderating temperatures into the 40s by the weekend. And I think I looked even further into January, it's going to be up in the 50s a little bit later on in the month. So, hey, it is cold, but it ain't Alaska and it ain't Canada where it's like this 6 months out of the year. So I can survive it. I can just hunker down and put on some long johns, keep trucking. Sprint, we want our brand new sponsor of the show. We're very excited about that, to get folks at Sprint 50% off any Samsung Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, or Note 8 for new activations for a limited time. Also at Sprint, if you're a member of a credit union, you get it reimbursed for accessory sales up to $100 per line for being a member of a credit union and a Sprint customer at the same time. So if you're a member of a credit union, you get a chance to save big when you go into Sprint at the store here on on Roan Street here in Johnson City. Also, Sprint will buy out your current contract with your current carrier to switch you over. And also, you get $300 off an iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and iPhone X with an eligible trade-in. All this, again, at Sprint here in North Johnson City at the Sprint store on Roan Street. And so that's where we deal. And that's Ronnie and the folks over there and Buddha and all the guys. And so let me run them down for you one more time. Here on January the 2nd. 50% off any Samsung Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, or Note 8. Credit union member. If you're a member of credit union, you get up to $100 per line off for being a member of credit union and a Sprint customer. And Sprint will buy out your current contract with your current carrier to switch you over. They did a lot of those over Christmas with Verizon and T-Mobile. And then $300 off iPhone 8, 8 Plus, or iPhone X with an eligible trade-in at Sprint. Again, at the Sprint store here in Johnson City on North Roan Street. So, can't beat it. It would be a cold night tonight, but it's going to be open. It'll be the Pinnacle Speedway and Lights, powered by TVA at Bristol Motor Speedway. Speedway and Lights is open tonight all the way through this coming Saturday. They'll shut her down for the year. The 21st Annual Pinnacle Speedway and Lights, powered by TVA. And so it is opening tonight from 6 until 10 o'clock. 2 million lights, over 200 displays in the 5-mile course. And so you get a chance to check out and do it for the kids, because the money raised goes to Speedway Children's Charities. It's all about the kids. Last but not least, coming in April, we're going to be broadcasting live on the 22nd from the Cove, the Billy Graham Training Center in Black Mountain, North Carolina. Can't wait. And so he's coming to town for a crusade / a celebration. Be Will Graham, Billy Graham's grandson. We're going to have him on the show. I believe it's next week. Will Graham's coming to town again to Freedom Hall, Johnson City, April the 27th, 28th, and 29th. And so we're going to be there, which is really cool. We're taking the show to the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina on Monday, January the 22nd. Can't wait to get over there and broadcast. We're going to chance to meet the folks from The Light, 106.9 FM, the radio station, Christian radio station on the property of the Cove. Also Eric and the folks that run the Cove, and of course himself, the grandson of Billy Graham. Will Graham's going to be with us on that show on that day, so we're very excited about being there on January the 22nd, and excited about him coming to town on the 27th, 28th, and 29th for a 3-day celebrations, they call it, at Freedom Hall here in Johnson City. Hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, you have 6 more hours to save. You get the General Motors Chevrolet employee discount through 7 o'clock tonight. That's all she wrote. And so if you get a chance to come out here and check it out, there was a gentleman here a few minutes ago looking at a Corvette. It's 2017. He would get that discount. So if you are got a hankering to make a move and do some wheeling and dealing with one of these great sales reps today, you have until 7 o'clock tonight. All 2017 vehicles have the General Motors / Chevrolet employee discount attached to them, and today is the absolute last day. General Motors comes out with a brand new January incentive tomorrow. So, and Andy and Tim don't know what that is, but we know that you got one more day to come in here and save with an employee discount like the employees would get here from Champion and General Motors. Big thanks to Andy Dietrich. Big thanks, of course, to Mike Hedrick, our NASCAR fan reporter from Northern Virginia, and also Kevin Harmon giving us the very latest on your Tennessee football update. Rejoining you tomorrow from Chick-fil-A at the Crossings, North Johnson City. Back here Thursday, then Friday we'll be at Food City on a short work week. We'll be at Food City on Volunteer Parkway on the Food City Friday. So all that thanks to Sprint and Champion Chevrolet and all of our other fantastic sponsors. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours until we greet you again tomorrow. From Chick-fil-A at the Crossings, North Johnson City, I can smell the chicken from here. Until then, we'll tell you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for giving us a listen. Show number 658 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. They said it wouldn't work.